What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Look Ahead Show here on Tony's Picks with Vegas Al. We're going to break down a lot here for Sunday. This is going to be a good episode. We got tons of NFL. I'm going to break down all 11 games, try to run through them. Try not to go longer than an hour here, but, we'll bang out a lot of picks here. All of the NFL, like I said, all 11 games. Then we'll break down all of the NBA slate tomorrow, a nice NBA slate. And then NHL, can't forget about the hockey, a little 4-game card. And then we have a little bit of college hoops I'll show. And then some props I'll end it off with for Sunday. So, yeah, I'll start off with how today went. Michigan there, that was an ugly loss. Was expecting more out of Underwood and really what the coaching staff could draw up for him. He missed a couple opportunities downfield. There was guys open, and he just didn't hit them. He looked like the freshman quarterback. Sains, at least the redshirt freshman, looked a lot more experienced. I could argue has a lot more talent around him. And Ohio State finally got their get-back spot here against Michigan. But, the Vanderbilt money line and +3 there, that was nice. Kind of made up for it a little bit. Break-even day. Pavia played well, a couple picks, but 45 points offense put up. Vanderbilt running the ball effectively. It was a good showing there. So I'll talk a little bit about Friday night too. I got the Texas win there to go through. That was another good one. Arch Manning looked nice run there to cap the game off. So it's been a pretty solid weekend. It's been a pretty solid week as well on the 7-day leaderboard. Big dog I hit on in soccer there is basically what got us up this week. It's been 50-50 after that, really. But, we're chasing plus money. So 50-50 at plus money is never going to complain. But, let's get into it here. We got the first NFL game we'll break down here. 49ers at the Browns. Total here at 34.5. Be in mind, I did put in a bunch of these headline banners here a couple hours ago. So if the lines moved, the lines moved. But I'm on the 49ers here. You guys can see it was a nice showing last week, obviously, from Shador. But I think even with the 49ers being banged up on defense, I still think this will be a head and shoulders better defense than what he got to see against the Raiders. Purdy didn't play well last week. 3 interceptions. I feel like in this spot, against the rookie here, he's going to want to show out and play well. Can't give up 10 sacks there like the Browns had last week. But this is the 49ers for me all day. They control this game. Short passing, get the ball out quick. Again, you don't want to give sacks up here to Myles Garrett. And then when they get the lead, they'll run it there with McCaffrey and ice this game out. I like the 49ers -5.5. On to the next one here. We got the Jaguars and the Titans. Just been calling Trevor Lawrence look like Tarzan, play like Jane, the poster boy of it. Hasn't had too bad of a season here. I'll give him his credit. Last week was a big-time win there. Kind of fluky if you look at these. If you look at the box score, if you watch that game, to the Jaguars' credit, they had a bunch of long drives, 12, 14-play drives, about 3 or 4 of them in that game. And then, obviously, Chargers were playing from behind the whole entire way. A couple bad picks. Just that one got away from the Chargers real quick. And I don't know. I feel like the Titans have actually been playing pretty good ball themselves. This is a divisional matchup. Obviously, Titans really have nothing to play for, but their defense is starting to get healthy. Jeffrey Simmons came back in the game last week there. Backdoor covered as well against the Seahawks. I remember being on the Seahawks. That was an ugly one. I'm on the Titans here, plus the 5.5. I do think they can keep this close. I like this one kind of to be low scoring as well. An under 41.5, I'm not mad at. I want the points there if it's going to be a low scoring game. All right. We're on to the next one here. Texans and Colts. Colts laying to 3 still here. Total 44.5. Obviously, Texans were dealing with their own quarterback's situation here. I'm making this one off the fact that Jones isn't looking good. I've seen some practice film. He could be playing a little, games here or shenanigans, but the fractured fibula is to be able to try to tough that out is a little sketch. And I know Houston's going to have their ears pinned back. Will Anderson and the rest of that crew up front for the Texans. Give me the +3, if not an outright victory in this divisional matchup. I've been calling the Colts fool's gold all year long. I think it's starting to come, true here. And then again, just the Daniel Jones injury. We're on here to the Saints and the Dolphins. Total here is 41.5. Dolphins laying 5.5. This one actually I could see being a little bit of a shootout here. I like the over, obviously. Shaw, I expect to open up a little bit. There'll be, a guy like Devin Neal out the backfield. Kamara is not going to play here. But at the end of the day, I still think maybe I would back the Dolphins. I just don't want to lay this -5.5. This might be a parlay piecer, or just if you want to touch it over. This is, to me, an over, no doubt about it. I see Tua in this offense. Devon A-Chain having a big day. We'll get to him later on. But, yeah, the Dolphins here, I don't know. The over 41.5 to me is a lot better. I like plenty of offense here in this one. And a pretty smooth weather for November here in Miami. On to the next game, the opposite. We got a bad weather game here. I'm seeing 18-mile-per-hour winds, about a 65% chance of rain or expected rain here. Total at 39.5. So that total tells me all you need to know. Jets can play a little bit of defense as well. That Broncos game out there overseas comes to mind. They can play some defense when needed. And going against the Falcons with another kind of defensive-minded coach here, Raheem Morris. Don't know what you're going to get out of Kirk. Don't know what you're going to get out of Tyrod Taylor either. Yes, that's why I'm on the other 39.5. Again, the weather plays into this one as well. A lot of running the ball and a lot of 3-and-outs. That's what I see here in this one. Kicking game as well. Long drives with missed field goals. Give me the under 39.5 in that one. We got the Rams and Panthers here in this one. And Panthers really off a bad showing there on Monday night. Had plenty of opportunities to win that game against the 49ers. And this one, I'll be short with it. I think it's Rams all day, -10. I think they can even name their score in this one. Not a believer in Bryce Young. I think Stafford's going to go out there and put a clinic. And Rams kind of have a nice little soft schedule for a little bit. And then they got a couple – I think they actually do have a nice little this might be a look ahead, actually. They have a nice opponent next week. But they got to win every game they can, actually. They're third in the NFC West. If I was not, it's the 49ers that we get into next. But it's a tight NFC West. They got to win every game. That one's going to come down probably to the final game of the season. Give me the Rams here, big -10. Don't be scared to lay it. Next game here, we got the Cardinals and the Buccaneers. Baker, shoulder problems here. It's not the throwing shoulder, it's his left shoulder. But I don't know. To me, it's already writing on the wall. I like what Jacoby Brissett's been doing here with the Cardinals. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, playing solid ball, playing for a starting job, in my opinion. I'm on the Cardinals here, plus the 3.5. I just don't know what you're going to get out of Baker at the end of the day here. Give me the Cardinals on that one. All right, next game, we got the Vikings and the Seahawks. Brosmer is supposed to be the starting quarterback here for Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy is still going to be out, or is going to be out for this one. What do you call it? Seahawks just still playing good ball. I know they didn't cover that big number last week, let it backdoor, but I think they get a bigger lead here against Minnesota, against this virtually unknown here coming in. I think he's had a couple starts, or at least I've seen him in the preseason. This Brosmer kid, yeah. Seahawks all day here, -11.5. Also, a little bit of a revenge spot for Darnold. Gets to rub it in a little. Give me the Seahawks -11.5. On to the next one. We got the Chargers and the Raiders. This one here, I like the Chargers -9.5. This is a bounce back spot for sure for the Chargers. Again, just got absolutely out time of possession last week against the Jaguars. I look for them to do that now here against the Raiders and eke out some long drives. You know Harbaugh's going to want to run the ball, get Justin Herbert back on track. He hasn't played that well recently. This is a bounce back, get right spot here for the Chargers. I'll lay it here, -9.5 against the Raiders. And then probably the game of the day, I would say, here with the Bills and Steelers. Looking like Aaron is going to try to play in this one. I don't think it matters. I'm on the Bills here, -3. Would like to see some defense played here in Buffalo. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I think it doesn't matter. I still think if this one turns to a shootout, I'd rather be on the Josh Allen side than the Aaron Rodgers side at almost 40 years old or whatever he is. But yes, I will take the Bills here minus the 3 against the Steelers. And if Rudolph does play, again, I'll still take Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills offense. Look for James Cook to have a big day and them get this run game going, open everything else up. And then here, the Sunday nighter, what do you got here? Broncos minus the 5.5. Just be sure with this one. I don't like Mariota in this spot here. Broncos just kind of riding high. This was I was trying to get into there here. A couple easy games they have back to back. I think they played the Jets as well or somebody else. I'll look real quick. It was an easy spot here for the Broncos. You hope they don't get a little lackadaisical. 9-2. I know they're welcoming back Surtain as well. Broncos are playing 1 second. Yeah, they play the Raiders again next week, so it was a tough matchup, divisional, but I still think this isn't a look-ahead spot against the Commanders. I think they just handle business. 9 straight. Yeah, I think it's Broncos all day here. I'll lay it's up to 6.5 now as I'm looking at it. So it tells you all you need to know. On to the next now. We got NBA we're going to get into. Now with the NBA, I'm just going to read you guys some injuries here with the first game. We'll start off like that. Jazz here, 11.5-point dogs at home. For the Rockets, Finney-Smith, East, and Van Fleet obviously still out. Adams, game time decision. Kevin Love's out for the Jazz. George, game time decision. Oscar Tshiebwe is going to be game time decision. Yang and Kessler obviously still out. I just keep saying Kessler. He's in the injury report. Yeah, this one I'm laying it here. KD's on the court. I'll take that. Am I rushing to the window now to lay at 11.5 points? No, but I just think, again, still a size or front court advantage with Sengun as well. Yeah, I'll lay it here, minus 11.5 with the Rockets against the Jazz. All right, next game we got the Celtics and the Cavaliers. Celtics here, 7.5-point dogs. That's where I'm at the end of the day. Saw them kind of compete with the Timberwolves. At the end of the day, you look at the Cavaliers, Merrill's going to be out. Jared Allen's going to be out. Larry Nance, Lonzo Ball, Porter game time decision. I don't know. To me, the Celtics are still scrapping up a roster. They competed the other night and won outright against the Pistons the other night, basically one of the best teams in the East right now. I think this Boston team's scrappy enough to even possibly win this one outright. Yes, I'll take the 7.5 points with Boston against the Cavaliers here. All right, we got the Raptors and the Knicks. I'm kind of the same sentiment here. No RJ Barrett. That might be a big piece missing going forward. But I still think the Raptors have plenty enough. The Ingram acquisition was for this reason. Somebody was going to go down. And, the forward spots deep on this team. Scotty Barnes, double-doubles, always live. We know this. I like the Raptors here, plus 7.5. I still think the Knicks are always going to be overvalued. We know this too. Shamit's out, Onunubi's out. Nothing unusual from the Knicks side. Still basically the same guys kind of out. Yeah, I don't want to lay anything with the Knicks of this magnitude here. I like the Raptors plus the 7.5. We got Sixers and Hawks next. This one I'm on the 76ers. This one, injury report was ugly here on both sides. Dante and Trae Young obviously still out. Porzingis is going to be out. Derisic out. So the front court for the Hawks is always next man up. But same thing with the 76ers. Embiid's not going to play. Wofford's not going to play. Drummond's game time decision. Edgecombe, it's just an injury report nightmare. But I still think of Jared McCain, Kelly Oubre, Tyrese Maxey's out here on the court averaging 31 points a game. I still think from the perimeter, I would I would like the 76ers a little bit more. It's Nickeil Alexander-Walker and then You got to hope Jalen Johnson has a good night from three. Um, I don't know what are they shooting here from three, right? From three, 37% from the Hawks is not too bad, I'm telling you. But that's why the over 234.5 isn't that bad. This one's a tough one. I'm on the Sixers. Again, more experience here. They're shooting 37% from three, both of these teams. Yeah. So 76ers still. The reason why, I already said, I think a Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey duo there is a little bit more dangerous than anything the Hawks have. Quentin Grimes, another sleeper off the bench for the 76ers. That's that. Minus 1.5, though. Let me get the minus 125 money line on this for sure. All right, we're going to do it. We're on the Thunder. We're finally going to jump on the bandwagon. You know I like to fade the Thunder. I think I was even on the Thunder that their first loss of the season and only loss this year when it was against Portland. Then I think I hopped on them again when they beat them big time against the second time out. And here, I think it's similar to the second matchup. Give me the Thunder because Drew Holiday out, Matisse Thybulle out, Scoot Henderson out. Those pieces were all there that first matchup. That's what gets me liking the Thunder here, minus the 12.5. Again, our team on a mission. 20 wins, 1 loss. I can definitely see it. 19-1, obviously, to start the season. Can only look their way. On to the next game. We got the Spurs and the Timberwolves. This one is a one I like a lot here. The Timberwolves minus 3.5. Spurs are kind of in coast mode already out the gate. They're happy to be 13-5. We'll rest Wemby with the calf issue. Stephen Castle still not going to play. Who else? Harrison Ingram, game time decision. McLaughlin out. Clean injury report from the Timberwolves. Can only be looking their way. Naj Reid, a big day. I'll look for him in the props. Obviously, you can always look at Ant-Man props. Yeah, I'm on the Timberwolves here, minus 3.5 at home. All right, next game, we're on the Grizzlies and the Kings. I remember this one vividly. It was when we caught the Kings plus 18 against the Thunder. Then we turned right back around on the back-to-back and took them there plus 2.5, plus 3.5 in Memphis. They got boat raced in that game. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go right back to the Kings. This time they're at home. I would say this is a revenge spot. They're going to remember that, what happened. I know I do. But I think at the end of the day, look at this injury report for the Grizzlies. I know John Morant's not going to be playing. Who else? There was another core of guys. Scottie Pippen Jr., Brandon Clark, Javon Small, Ty Jerome, and obviously just Sabonis and Schroeder. Those guys, I'm still waiting on a Maxine Reynald appearance, at least a meaningful one. I'm about to have to give up on it. I don't think it's even the kid's fault. I think they just don't give them the opportunities. Throw the ball down low to them, work it in there. They're playing Eubanks a lot more. That's the problem. But whatever. Anyways, I still think the Kings have plenty of pieces. Monk, Russell Westbrook. We'll take the aging DeRozans and Levines. But yes, Kings plus 3.5. Give it to me. Sign me up. Probably even the money line there. 230.5 seems light as well. That might be a triple play. Over, money line. Yeah, you name it. All right, on to the next and final game in the NBA. We're going to take the plus 14.5 here with the Pelicans. And the Pelicans injury report's ugly. No Herbert Jones, no Trey Murphy. 2 big pieces. It's hard to almost want to bet the Pelicans with them. And then, no Jordan Poole either. Who's going to get any sort of offense going for the New Orleans Pelicans here? Jordan Hawkins out as well. Well, let's just look at how they were able to compete tonight against the Warriors. I think they can do something very similar here against the Lakers. Who we got? Jose Alvarado still going to be out there. Jeremiah Fears, Sadiq Bey. I like this cat, Derek Queen. He's making a big name for himself already, rookie year. Call me crazy. Missy coming off the bench. McGowan's has seen an increase in minutes, so he might be a guy prop-wise. Bryce McGowan's the kid out in Nebraska. Um, yeah, I know we're having to grab some guys. You don't really know who the heck we're betting on, but plus 14.5 is where I'm at. Seems like way too many points. I get it. Lakers at home, rolling off to a very, very hot start. 14-4, looking like one of the best teams in the Western Conference. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to lay 14.5 points. They do have the Suns up next. Probably a game they care a little bit more about, going up against D-Book, and more of a threat of a team in the Western Conference than the Suns. I hate to think about it that way, but again, I'm not going to want to lay 14.5 points with the Lakers, so I can find any excuse to get on the Pelicans side, and so that's what I'll do here. I'm on the Pelicans plus the 14.5. All right, now we get on to the ice. We're breezing through this show, guys. We're breezing through this show. All right. 1 second, get on this ice. Capitals here and Islanders. Capitals minus 125 is where I was looking at. Just playing a little bit of the better hockey. The last, I believe, it was, let me pull this up. I had it here. Get my notes. Yeah, it was 2-1 head-to-head last 3, and then it was 13-7 in their last 20 games straight up against the Islanders. 8-3 last 11 games on the road against the Islanders. They historically have dominated this series and are playing the better hockey this year, I'd say. And, yeah, I'm on the Capitals minus 125. I'll pay a little bit of the juice. I was thinking the same sentiment here with the Ducks, but no, I got on the Blackhawks. Blackhawks already beat them this year. Another, Bedard versus the Ducks young core. Bedard has a couple veterans along with him as well. Yeah, I like the Blackhawks here to basically win again. Ducks will get that revenge spot final matchup. They've played against each other at home. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it. Blackhawks win the season series 2-1. Nothing surprising there. I'll get a little bit of plus money, plus 105, and riding with the Blackhawks at home here. Yep. On to the next one. We're on the Flames and the Hurricanes here. No way will I bet on the Flames at all this year. I know plus 215 seems like a great attractive price. Yes, I'm on the Hurricanes. I'll lay the puck line. It's not a great one. Yes, but I can only look their way. Minus 1.5 with the Hurricanes. On to the next one here. We got the Senators and the Stars. Picks under 5.5. Ottinger, DeSmith playing great between the pipes. DeSmith and Ottinger, and then what is it? 8 of the last 11 matchups against each other have gone under. Or was that the other one? No, that was the other one. 8 of the 11 with the Capitals and Islanders. Capitals winning. That's what I was talking about. It was 5 out of the last 7 here against the Eastern. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. That's what it is. It was 8. It was 8 out of the last 11 games here against the Atlantic Division under. It was 12 out of the last 18 games against each other under. 4 out of the last 6 games just that Dallas has played has gone under. And like I said, the goalkeeping with the Stars, everything pointing to the under in this matchup. On to the next little group of games we got, and it's college basketball. That's right. Wanted some end of the show college basketball picks here. St. Joseph's versus Princeton. I think that one also may get up over the total, but Princeton's going to try to slow it down half court. I think St. Joseph finally improves upon that 26% three-point percentage. A little bit better free throw shooting team, though, St. Joseph's. 81% from the free throw line. When you look at Princeton, 68% from the free throw line, you're thinking Princeton, 68% from the free throw. Yeah, believe it. No way I want to look at Princeton here. I'll be on St. Joseph's to get right, -3. I'll take it. Yale minus the 6.5 versus Vermont. Again, I was high on this Vermont squad, but they've kind of burned me a little bit these past couple times. I'm not mad at fading them here. Yale's been a perennial NCAA tournament type team. They got that one kid back, Townsend. there's some players as well surrounding him on this Yale squad. I'm comfortable laying it here, minus the 6.5 versus Vermont. And then it was San Diego versus Long Beach State. Long Beach State is not very good. Only concern is this line's a little low. I would look money line, minus 120-ish will probably be with San Diego, but I just think they're a little deeper and off to a better start this year as well. And then the final college game I like this one a lot too. Fresno State will lay it. Just getting a better pick of the litter here in the state of California when it comes to recruiting. And then CSU Bakersfield dealing with the offseason scandal. I'm not going to really air out their business here, but you can find out what happened there yourselves. Go Google that. But yes, CSU Bakersfield, their only couple wins have been against non-Division I schools, and then their first 2 wins, and then the last win they didn't even cover against Mississippi Valley State. We know Mississippi Valley State's one of the worst college basketball programs in all of college basketball right now. I'm not impressed with CSU Bakersfield, put it that way. Fresno State 6-2 to start the year. I think they big brother them here. We'll lay the minus 10.5 with Fresno State. All right, here we are. We're at the end of the show, guys. I'll give you guys some props here. First prop of the game, of the little last segment, is going to be Devon Achane over the 79.5 rushing yards here in Miami versus New Orleans. No way I'm backing the Saints defense, aging defense, when you have a guy like Cam Jordan on this defense. If he's even playing serious snaps at this point, I mean, I don't even know. Cam Jordan, oh gosh. DeMario Davis, that aging defense. And there's a reason why they're at the bottom of the league. Devon Achane over 79.5 rushing yards. I think he has a big 100-yard day. Jacoby Brissett over 1.5 passing touchdowns here against the Buccaneers. I think he slices up that Tampa 2 coverage. Again, I think Baker has himself a pretty bad day. Gives Jacoby Brissett possibly some short fields. All over the Cardinals, all over Jacoby Brissett, 1.5 passing touchdowns here, even money. And then again, I think Stafford has himself a clinic against this Panthers defense. Possible another situation, getting some short fields here against the Panthers, and Bryce Young, he may turn it over as well. Get a little bit of plus money here for him to get 3 touchdown passes. I think 1.5 is a little juiced. If you want to just say 2, I'm not mad at you, but I'm trying to get some plus money at least with him. And then the final one is I'll lay a little bit of juice to minus 120 with Justin Herbert to get 2 passing touchdowns here. A get right spot. Last couple weeks hasn't played great. This is a spot here that they also try to put some drives together. We saw what we were talking about earlier on in the show, how they played against Jacksonville. Justin Herbert get right spot, over 2 touchdown passes here, minus 125. And there you have it. That's the show. All the picks for Sunday, guys. Of course, go check out the morning show here coming up next day. We will break down some more college basketball. Only so many games I can get to here. I got to all of the main ones, all of the NFL, all of the NBA, all of the NHL, a few college winners, a few props in the NFL for you guys. Check out what we have on Tony's Picks and make tomorrow a winning day, guys. Best of luck. Peace.